get through everyone that has come up before myself. Just give all of them a big hand. All of the disciples. Highest greeting that I can give to anyone is to acknowledge the beautiful and divine in them, even as I acknowledge the beautiful and divine in myself. Therefore, greet all of you in the ancient Sanskrit words of liberation. Namaste. Namaste. Mawani Abafunde. You say Molo Utashala. And what language is that? Good. Give her a hand. That's very good. Beautiful language of our people. We had a beautiful ritual on last week, didn't we? Wasn't that nice? Beautiful ritual. Beautiful ritual. I was very inspired by it. I really enjoyed it. We had people from literally all over the world that joined us in that ritual, and we saw pictures of them. And student Anaket is just doing a wonderful job on our Facebook page. Give her a hand for that. We're very grateful for that. And I want to say to Wild Vishnu, I don't know where he is, but I want to say to him, let's just make that our mantra going forward.
Yeah.
We don't need to change. Because anything other than that would be less.
Right, exactly.
There are some things that are parts of our faith that are not interchangeable, or not movable, transferable. Like the 8 points of beliefs, the emanations, our books, all of those things bind our community together, Akshay?
Akshay.
So we must be consistent in those things. But points of evolution and something like your mantra is good, but that's the highest mantra that you can have, Akshay?
Yes.
Akshay. I have a subject today that is entitled Call to Lead. And one might ask the question, why would I need to listen to a subject such as this if I'm not in a leadership position? But that is a false impression, because all of us are in leadership positions.
That's right.
You're over yourself.
Right. Oh, wow.
Woo!
Yes. Man. Oh,
yes.
Wow.
You are over yourself.
That's right.
And that is the highest leadership position that you could ever have. And if you don't come to that recognition, then you will allow other people to lead you when they are really not responsible for leading you.
That's right.
You're over yourself. And no matter what they tell you, you don't have a supervisor.
That's right.
That's right.
You don't have a manager.
That's right.
You don't have a superior over you.
Yeah.
That's right.
There is no other God but you. And when you understand that, then you will begin to see that all of these people in your lives that have these various titles are playing a role that is supposed to be in support of the ideal that you are God. That everything you see in your external experience is being produced by your internal experience.
That's right.
That you're supposed to be living your life out of intention, which is the inward architecture of your mind, right? Your inward architecture is supposed to produce your outward manifestation.
Yeah.
Your inward architecture is supposed to produce your outward manifestation. When you talk about attention, they say that you pay attention.
Yeah.
Why am I paying attention? Why is the word paying in front of attention?
Wow.
The reason
Speak the truth.
that the word paying, pay, is in front of attention
Mm-hmm.
is because you are taking energy from your mind science
Mm-hmm.
or the science of mind or your mental focus
Yep.
to give it to something external
Wow.
Uh-huh.
to you.
Yep. Yep.
You couldn't pay intention
Ooh.
because intention is cyclic and is revolving in your own mind.
Mm.
But you can pay attention, meaning that your purpose and your force and your power is going outside of you in order to please somebody else.
Woo.
Nice.
Wow. I get it.
And when you go and your mind focus goes outside of yourself to please somebody else, what ends up happening is you lose force and power to manifest what you want in your life out of yourself.
Deficit.
Are you seeing this?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So in the scripture, it says that Yeshua was aware that virtue had left him
Yeah.
because somebody was absorbing or trying to get something from him. So when something leaves you, you should know it. Are you understanding?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
So intention, though, when they talk about our community and they talk about how money should be moved in our community, it says everything goes out of the community and nothing comes back in. Is that right?
Yeah.
Well, it's the same thing with your mind.
Mm.
There should not be energy going out. But what happens is this external variable convinces us that there is a need or a threat by which we must submit our mental focus to it or we will lose something. It could be a paycheck. It could be guilt. It could be any number of things. But the reason we usually pay attention is because there is something outside of ourselves that we are concerned about or worried about that causes us to take our mental focus off of what we want and place it on what other people want, on what other people desire, on what other people say should be done. Are you seeing this?
Yes.
Biovibrational science represents the most complete and comprehensive antidote to the ills of human psychology. It is coined as such because it addresses the problems that perplex us with a systematic process of eradication. So what biovibrational science says is there is no external. That everything that is external should be paying attention to your intention.
Right. Right.
And that if it is not paying attention to your intention, then it is not validating the ideal that I am. See, everything in your life is supposed to be giving you praise. Now, when I say that, I'm not talking about some false emotional gibberish. But I am talking about validating the idea and the fact that you are God and you can accomplish whatever you want. Are you seeing this?
Yes.
And our manifestation goes out to Sister Echo, who is dealing with a family emergency. She's not here today, but if you're watching via Facebook, we want you to know that you are I am.
Yes.
And you have the power to manifest into that situation what you will if people are willing to listen to you. But if you're trying to help somebody that does not want to help themselves, then your intention goes from intention to attention. And then you go from positivity to loss. Can you see that? But if people will hear what you are saying and abide by it, then you can help them too. Akshay?
Akshay.
Now, these processes, though diverse, begin in one common space, and that's the human mind. Now, I want you to understand, we pay attention, but we live in intention. You understand? When you start to talk about space, you're now talking about the mental and spiritual principle. You're talking about the mental and spiritual principle and ideal under which you are living. And that ideal, this space, you say, I'm not in a good space right now. Or I'm in a loving space right now. Or I'm in a happy space right now. That attitude produces place, which are the atmospheric conditions of the space. And this is true also when you look at dimensions or spaces, and planes are the places. So I'm on the terrestrial plane.
Wow.
And there are certain conditions, atmospheric conditions about me being on the terrestrial plane. But I'm only on the terrestrial plane if the dimension I'm operating in is also terrestrial, meaning that my psychology is terrestrial. But I could be in the world, but not of the world.
Yeah.
I could be in a spiritual place,
Right.
although my body is in a physical place.
Right.
And if that happens, the place I'm in must transform.
Right.
Wow. Yes.
Now, if I'm in a place, a space, a mental space of poverty, a mental space of lack,
Right.
then my outward environment will reflect in that place the atmospheric conditions that goes with the mindset.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you seeing this?
Yeah.
Right? It will go, so I will see less in my bank account. So if I can go into my mind and be in the right space,
Yeah.
I will eventually project.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
The place will then begin to reflect what is in my mind.
Yeah. Right.
And this is what you call the science of mind.
Right.
Right? As a man thinking. Right? So is he. To be or not to be. Be true to thyself. To thy own self be
True.
See, that's in the mind.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I am is the ideal that precedes the ideal.
Right.
So if I'm in the ideal that I am,
Yeah.
whatever I am is capable of, I can produce. If I'm in the space of I am, right,
Yes.
then the place will reflect whatever I am can
Yeah.
create.
Yeah.
But if my ideal is just I'm a woman, well, there are only certain ideas that can be produced from that.
Yeah.
If my ideal is I'm black,
I'm like, yeah.
then there are only
That's it.
certain ideas.
That's it.
I mean, we
That's
can
it.
dance, we can
Yeah.
talk back to
That's
music,
it. Yeah.
play dominoes,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
That's it.
We can protest, we
Yeah.
can beg.
Yeah.
So it is intelligence.
Yeah.
There is a science to media
Man, talk about it.
Yeah.
that promotes a psychology
Yeah.
to keep you in a particular space.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's
what
it.
happens,
That's it. That's it.
Is the guilt
Yeah.
of the external environment says you better pay attention
Yeah. Man.
Yeah.
to this space.
Stop.
Yeah.
Don't you stop. Don't you
See,
stop.
and you have to be strong enough and say, I understand what you're showing me.
Yeah.
You're showing me a place, but that's an illusion.
Yeah.
That's an illusion that you're showing me. You say, no, but there are bodies here. There's depth here.
Yeah.
That is a projection
Uh-huh.
of the psychology
Yeah.
of a people
Yeah.
that do not know they are God.
Yeah.
Talk about it,
Yeah.
Nataru.
Yeah.
But as soon as you say, keep your holiday, as soon as you say, keep your movies and keep your media and keep your history, your history, your story of me, keep that to yourself.
Keep it to yourself. Come on.
going to project from my mind. Can I go deep?
Go ahead. Go ahead. Come on,
I
Nutella.
know this ain't on the board because
on, Nutella.
y'all lost a week.
Bring us up.
Come on, Nutella. Speaks.
Man.
Let us
Let us. Uh-oh.
make man
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Man.
in our image.
Mm-hmm.
Image now is the age of I am.
Woo!
Better.
Wow.
So the age now of I am, let us make man in our image, which is the root word of imagination.
Yep. Uh-huh. Yep.
Make it
So
plain.
let me think and make humanity in my mind.
Ooh.
So now man now, a human being, is the image that is in my mind.
Yeah.
But this word likeness does not refer to looking like somebody.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
The word likeness is coming out of the understanding of, let me give this energy, this what is in my imagination, a likeness and affinity, the same affinity that I have.
Yeah.
Now, if I have a like for somebody, you like Renee, right? Huh? Talk to me.
Yeah.
I like a set, right?
Yeah.
When we like each other, there's a likeness. That means that there's an attraction.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah.
There's an affinity.
Yeah.
There's a magnetization.
Mm-hmm.
So when I use my imagination, what the universe has done is, by forming me in its imagination and giving me the power of imagination,
Yeah.
by my imagination now, I have that which I like, that which I have an affinity for, that which I am attracted to.
Yeah.
So by me working through my mind, I can bring to myself
Yeah.
what I want.
Yeah.
The key to manifesting what you want in your life is to live in your imagination.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Live in
To
it.
live
Live in it.
Yeah.
in your sacred space
Live in
Yeah.
it.
so that you can create the place
Yeah.
you want.
Yeah.
Are you seeing it?
Yeah.
If somebody else creates your place, then they can put you in whatever category they want.
Oh, wow.
Okay, let's check them off as a minority. Let's check them off as a female.
Yeah.
Let's check them off as this income level.
Yeah.
Because they're choosing your place.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yep.
But if you come into the right space, then you create the place you want.
Yep. True. True.
So here in the Self-Empowerment Center, we have created, right, out of our space,
Yes.
a place
Yes.
where ascended masters gathered. And they're here today.
Yes.
All in the house.
Where all of the masters, all of the beneficent energy beings, all of the goodness in the universe comes here
Yes.
into this one place with us because we're in a certain space.
Yes.
And it allows us to produce what we want. So we keep hearing miracle after miracle. You know, some of you weren't here when Tahuti brought up his medicine cabinet. Right? He was in a space.
Right.
But he changed that space. Some of you came here, you didn't have love, you got love. Some of you didn't have money, you got money. Not because of me. See, that's the difference. Not because of me, not because of Jesus, not because of Buddha, not because of Muhammad. Because any real teacher leads you to a higher understanding of you. Period.
Yeah.
You said, what is that what Jesus did?
Yes, it is. Right.
This I do, and greater
Things.
shall you do.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you see this?
Yes.
So, let's go deeper.
Oh, man.
So we live in a social architecture that does not want this to occur. Because this would bring the equity of finance. This would destroy chauvinism.
Yes.
Are you seeing that?
Yes.
This would destroy oppression.
Yes.
When you start operating out of your mind in a space that no one can touch, you become an invincible force.
Yeah.
Look for, you can't be seen. Touched, you can't be felt.
Yeah.
You become something beyond that because you begin to say be and it is.
Yeah.
By the time you get there, your mind has already blazed a path to what you want in the morning. Are you seeing it?
Yes.
This is the science of mind. Today, most people you meet are on the brink of a nervous breakdown.
Yeah.
They are emotional wrecks. They are fidgety. They're upset. They're mad. They're angry.
Yeah.
And they want to spew that venom to you and cause you to be infected with what they have. If you look at most people in society, most people in society today are less adept to meaningful conversation.
That's right. That's
It's hard to find somebody.
It'll
I have it?
It'll drive you nuts. It'll drive you nuts.
It's hard to find somebody to talk to about something meaningful.
That's right. Oh my goodness.
And what you find is that people want to talk about what other people are doing,
Yes.
but not about what they are doing. And they definitely don't want to have the time. Don't have the time to talk about what you are doing.
That's it. That's it. That's right.
But when you meet real people like the students in the Biovibrational Center for Biovibrational Science, you meet people that are interested in listening to what you are doing.
What are you doing? Yes.
And it's beautiful.
Yes.
Because they want to know. They want to know what you're doing. But you can't be one of those people. Whenever we listen to you, all you have to say is something negative about how much something hurt, how bad something is, because that's causing us to pay attention. But when you talk about your intention, you build my intention.
Come on. Love it.
I got you.
So it's hard to find people. People's social skills are diminishing.
Yes.
People don't know how to say thank you. People don't know how to speak.
Yeah.
Human beings, the humanity is being lost in human beings.
It is. It
Common courtesy being lost.
Yes.
There is a dumbing down of people.
Of people. Period.
I'm looking at extremely intelligent people in here,
Yes.
because otherwise you could not have understood anything I said up until this point. I'm looking at extremely gifted masters in here. This is a master's class. This is not. Look, we don't even try anymore to communicate with people on the lower levels of consciousness.
Just don't even try.
I mean, if you still stuck, right, in certain places, we can't really talk to you.
That's right.
But we're talking to masters in here, and we realize there's a dumbing down of human beings. That people, that their minds are not sharp.
That's right.
Right?
Yes.
If you took the cash register with the pictures on it away from them and gave them a calculator,
Whoa.
they would struggle.
Yes. Yes.
And oh man, if you took the calculator and replaced it with pens or pencil and paper, they would struggle because they're so used to using prefabricated systems of computers
Yes.
that they wouldn't even really know how to write.
That's right.
And see, as the jail has said so eloquently, is that writing is a ritual. That your intention is actually going into the letters on the page. If you observe her, that is why she writes all of the jhanas in a book. Oh man, you got to see it. Rather than just taking a picture of it, so that she can absorb through her spiritual nature what is being said in her notes. It's being lost. People don't know how to tell time, Jordan. If it's not a digital clock, people's memory are gone.
Yes.
There was a time when we could remember all of the phone numbers for 20 or 30 people because we had to.
Yes. Yes.
Is that right?
And
Now, let me keep going because I'm going to tell you why. You should have figured it out by what I said earlier. But look, the memory is gone. We can't remember phone numbers. We can't remember addresses. We can't even remember how to get to places we've been to before.
Right. Yeah.
And this is a systematic dumbing down. This is not a dumbing down by osmosis. This is a dumbing down by a system that is intent. And as you see the dumbing down, you also see the separation or the inequity of jobs being available.
That's right.
There are fewer and fewer jobs available for people without skill.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
You walk into the bank, you don't see the teller anymore.
Yeah.
In many banks,
That's right.
you see machines.
Yeah.
Is that right?
That's right.
Something is happening. And not only the memory, but the ability to just understand minuscule variables.
Right, right.
You have to talk to the customer service representative for 15 or 20 minutes to get them to understand the most minute of concepts.
Yes.
That's
All right?
That's right, man.
Huh?
Man, you going
I need to pay my bill.
Yeah.
And they're reading from a script that says how much your bill is. I know how much it is. That's why I called to pay the bill.
Yeah.
Then they go in and telling you how
Yeah.
you can pay the bill. You already know how you can pay the bill.
Exactly.
He says, well, I'm going to pay by credit card. Well, you can also pay this way. You can.
Yeah.
So there's this long, drawn-out explanation
Yeah.
because they can't get off dumb.
Mhm.
They don't know how to change directions because a critical part of intelligence is to be able to change directions when something is not needed.
Right.
Oh, man.
Oh,
Yeah.
man, that's right.
It's the ability to reason and to say to yourself, although I've been given this set of instructions, I do not need to follow this set of instructions if the variables for which these instructions were given to me are not applicable.
Right. Right.
Is that right?
That's right.
Right.
I mean, if the gas tank is already full, I obviously don't need any more gas.
Right. That's right. Exactly.
Although it's Monday.
We have gone from reading words to reading emojis.
Yeah. Oh wow.
That's right.
So now what happens is we were typing entire words.
Yeah, right.
Well, we were speaking words
Yeah.
and we were reading words. Is that right?
That's right.
And then we were writing the words,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And now we went to typing the words.
Yeah.
Then we went from typing the words
Yeah.
to just using acronyms
Yeah.
for the words.
That's right. That's right.
Right? And then we use acronyms for the acronym.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now the acronym is being replaced just with a false emotion
Yeah.
that looks like you.
Yeah. Right.
Woo!
You used to think about what you wanted to say.
Yeah.
Now you're being auto-suggested
Yeah.
what you should say.
Yeah.
And it's coming up faster than you can think of what to say.
Yeah. Right.
Mm-mm.
We're actually going back to preschool when we used to do the pictures.
Yeah. That's right.
Domino's
Your
Day.
little babies in preschool, they're looking at pictures. This is a doctor because it's got a stethoscope on, right?
Yeah.
This is a fireman because he's got the hat with the water hose and the fire truck. This is a nurse. Talk back to me.
Right.
And this is how we're being dumbed down. But at the same time, your emotion, your ability to think, reason, and gauge the proper emotion to have
Wow.
in a particular situation is being taken from you, which means your feeling is being taken
Feeling
from
is
you,
being taken.
and your I am is being taken from
Oh,
you.
man.
Your ability to be gods and goddesses
Being
is being taken
Yeah. Yeah.
Man, that's good.
from you.
That's good. That's
The
good.
children are becoming wards of the state. So the school has so many activities geared toward the psychology that it wants to promote
That's right.
that there's little room for parenting.
Yeah.
You are just doing whatever the school says needs to be done.
That's right.
And then the media that the children are being shown, if you take out time to actually look at it,
Yes.
the majority of it shows the child is intelligent.
Yeah.
The child is being able to know how to sneak out the house. The child is knowing how to be able to go to the party without the parent knowing it. And the child and all of these difficult decisions and meaningful relationships until they're no longer children by the time they're 10.
That's right.
They're making decisions on if they like somebody or they want somebody and all of that,
Yeah.
right? But the parent in that same media is clueless, without intelligence. But the academic aspect of the teaching has been accelerated, while the conscious aspect of the teaching is completely lost. So common sense and book sense never meet. Courtesy, right, has been replaced with entitlement. So you don't know
Right.
how to reason and think, right, and appreciate what somebody has done for you
Yeah.
because you're so into yourself. But the self you're into is artificial intelligence. Oh man. A sense of entitlement while losing indigenous wisdom.
Yeah.
Honor,
Yeah.
right? Honor is not something that was taught in schools.
No.
Honor was something you learned.
Yeah.
Sometimes you learned it from your parents, and sometimes you had to learn it from your brothers and sisters out in society. But when you turn and the brother, the person you used to call brother, doesn't have honor and integrity, where are you supposed to find it? Honor, duty, compassion, and mental toughness. That there is a depreciation of mental toughness. People cry at the drop of a dime, become insulted, depressed. You want to understand all of the suicides? I'm telling you why the suicides are happening. Because the mental toughness that we were raised up in to be able to have a can-do attitude has been replaced with a sense of entitlement that says, if things don't go my way, I fall apart.
That's right.
And what somebody says about me is an eternal representation of my validation. I'm paying attention
Yes. Yes.
to external variables, and they are setting my intention.
Wow.
Now, this social architecture is being fueled by a constant dispensation of negative news and overdose of electronic mechanisms. And this is why we're telling people to come to the science. Because it's never been more important to develop your own mind for you and your children so you can remain independent of all of this.
Talk about it.
Because human beings on the lower echelon of society are going to be replaced by artificial intelligence. But before that happens, human beings operating on auto-suggestion will be first. It's already happening. And it's digressing quickly. Biovibrational science is essential because it teaches us to be independent leaders of self,
Self.
of our finances, our relationships, and our perception. So when I talk about being called to lead, the first thing is lead yourself. Realize that your mind is what is in control of your environment. That's point number one. Secondly, understand now that when I say leader, I mean scientist. When you look at that word psyche, P-S-Y, right? You look at that word psyche, you look at that word science, the root of both of those words is psi, which means to know. Right? The psyche is the root, is the original word, suke, which meant soul. So when a man gains the world, all of the attention of the external, but loses his own psyche. Are you seeing it?
Yes.
What good? What, it doesn't profit you anything when everything is based on your intention and nothing is based on your own psyche or side to know. Are you seeing this?
Yes.
So you have to come into knowing. And so when we say leader, that is interchangeable with scientist, because when you come into this system and you become a scientist or a student that is on the way to becoming a scientist, what that effectively means is you're somebody that wants to know. Not know just knowledge outside of yourself, but to know your own self. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So when I say leader, I mean scientist. So a leader, a scientist, right? This is what I want you to develop. I'm going to give you some basic wisdom that I want you to work on to make sure you're thinking independently. You've got to have a calm resolve, even when you get unexpected variables.
Yes, yes, yes.
Now,
yes.
all of us know
Yes, yes.
that we are going to have things that are unexpected pop up. Is that right?
That's right.
But what we can't do is to fall into the same psychology that the rest of the world falls
Thank
into
you.
when something unexpected pops
That's
up.
right. That's right. That's right.
Somebody is going to say something that you don't like. You already know this.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're a scientist, you already know.
Yeah.
Right? Somebody's going to ask you to do something on your job that's insane.
Yeah.
You already know this. If you're operating a business, there are going to be ebbs and lows. You know this.
Yeah.
So don't lose it.
Yeah.
Right? Now we're going to shorten Sinjin, right? From I am the universe itself to just saying I
I
am.
am.
I am.
Sinjin.
I am.
There you go. Now you got it.
I am.
You are. And because you are, your environment is.
Yes.
So you already know you're going to have unexpected variables. You're going to have people that you talk to that the response you thought you were going to get from them is not the response they're going to come up with.
Yeah.
Because when you talk to people, you don't know what all they've been dealing with throughout their day.
Yeah.
So for you to wear your sensitivity on your shoulder and get upset every 5 seconds because somebody doesn't answer you
Yeah.
the way you want to be answered,
Yeah.
because you are in a space of tranquility at the moment, and they're in a space of trying to get to the space where you are.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Don't fall apart.
Yeah.
Right? You got to know you're going to have some unexpected responses, and you're going to have people that do things that disappoint you.
Right.
People you thought you could count on
Yeah.
to take care of specific tasks are going to fail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You cannot go around paying attention to that. Meaning you can't spend the rest of your day and the rest of your night and your morning coffee talking about what somebody at your job or somebody in your family did that upset you.
Yeah.
Because when you do that, you are paying attention. And if you keep paying, you won't have enough to even lease or rent out your own mind. When you pay bills that you don't even owe,
Dang.
Wow.
Man.
Wow.
you can't get rattled off course
Yeah.
by people doing things that is in their nature to do or their role to do.
Yeah.
Right.
The road.
If you are a master and you are Sinjin,
I am.
then you have to understand that if you're a master, there's got to be an antithesis. There's got to be people that play the role, right? If you're going to work out, there's got to be some weights somewhere. If you're going to go running, there's got to be a track with some lines, and there's got to be a finish line. There's got to be some wind resistance. These people are playing the role that they were born to play. And if you get caught up on the role, so you've got to see the energy, not the person. Oh, I'm talking to myself too. See, when you're sitting across the table from them and you're looking at them and you're thinking about their name is John. They work in this department, right? They make this amount of money. They're married with these amount of... No. You don't wrestle. You wrestle not against flesh and blood. You are wrestling against energies. The question is, what energy is that sitting across from me? Oh, that's poverty right there. That's narcissism right there. That's an excuse waiting to happen right there. That's irresponsible right there.
Yeah.
Are you seeing that?
Yeah.
And so when these energies come to you, you act accordingly based on the word, based on your teaching, based on your science. How do I deal with these kinds of spirits or energies? Not this kind of person. You know why? Say why. Because if you only deal with that physical being and you get rid of them, the corporate ego is going to replace them until you beat the energy. Oh man. My brother-in-law talked about what time he came up here, he talked about games. And it's so true, because you go, do you know how you can play a game and you go up in levels? And as you go up, you get more tools, but the enemy gets worse. See, until you get past a certain level, the corporate ego is going to repackage these people with repackage that energy in another body and send that same person right back to you.
Yes, yes.
Okay? So you got to overcome that. Challenges, failures, betrayals, unexpected responses are all part of life. Grow up.
Oh, yeah, wow.
You got to learn to detach, and this is critical. You have to learn to laugh at yourself.
Yes, yes.
Now you might say, why did I need to laugh at myself? Doesn't that mean I'm not taking myself seriously? You need to understand that if taking yourself seriously to you means that you're going to absorb a criticism and live with that the rest of your week, the rest of your day with your head bowed, feeling less than God, that's a problem.
Yeah, that's a problem.
So if you make a mistake, you cannot say that my Godship or my goddessship is now invalid based on that mistake. Let me mope around, let me feel bad about it.
Right.
That's paying. There you go.
All right.
So when you make a mistake, you got to laugh at yourself.
Laugh at yourself.
And you know what other people will tell you? Well, it's okay for you to laugh at yourself, but don't laugh at me. No, I'm going to laugh at you. I know they say in the school system, don't say the word dumb. Don't say the word stupid. I don't believe in it. I don't believe it. No. Just send your emails now. Send your letters. I ain't gonna read them. Not those kind. There's some dumb people out here. And there's some stupid people out here. And if you stupid, I might laugh. Because me trying to make what you did that was not intelligent or okay is leading you down the wrong path and robbing me of a wonderful opportunity at humor.
Oh, man.
That's right.
Yeah, my family will tell you I find reasons to laugh at myself. Because when you do that, beloved, you start to come into a space where you realize that I can afford to laugh.
Yes.
Because I'm God.
Yes.
And whatever I want to accomplish, it's going to happen.
It's
But if
gonna
you're
happen.
afraid to laugh,
Oh, it's gonna happen.
then that means that you don't really know who you are.
Right.
And that what you want's going to happen no matter the obstacle. Are you seeing that?
Yes.
Don't take everything so seriously. I want kids to learn how to laugh at themselves. Right?
Yes.
That's a key component. When you were in school, if you had somebody that was bullying you or talking about you, if you could laugh at yourself, you would diffuse the whole thing.
That's right.
Huh? Yeah, you're right. I do look kind of whack, as we used to say. Huh? You gotta laugh at yourself. What leaders do? A leader spends time working on solutions.
That's right.
I don't like a scientist. If you're a scientist in here, right? How many of you already signed a membership card? Right? You've already gone through, you've already signed the card, you've already gone through your ritual, you're a scientist. Well, look, if you're a scientist, you talk solutions. You got people want to talk a problem to death. Huh? We know what the problem is. We know she's sick. Right? What are we going to do about it? We know the rich do. We don't need to keep talking about why it's due. Hell, it's due. What are we going to do about it? Right? We know there's oppression. We know there's inequality. What are we going to do? Well, let's just ask them for it. Wrong! Wrong! What are we going to do? What are we going to build? Right? That makes us an invincible. Where did we go wrong? What do we need to do? I like people that talk about solutions, that tell me how to move forward. Because most people that are broke and stressed are people that talk about what's wrong and constantly complain. Have you noticed that?
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
A scientist must understand the intricate details of the challenges faced by those on the front line. Now, you're a leader. I said you're a leader, right? You're a leader over yourself. Now, you've got people, friends, loved ones, or whoever, hopefully, supporting you and helping you. Even people here in this building. Is that right? You need to understand what's going on the front line. Meaning that if you've ever been in a workplace where you have people that like to sit in the high office, but don't know what the people on the front line are dealing with, that's poor management. That is poor management, and that is a person that will be unsuccessful, hated, and resented. understand what it's like
I
to
understand.
mop the floor.
Yes.
I understand. I'm talking about me.
Yeah.
I understand what it's like to mop this floor in it. I understand what it's like to paint this floor. I understand what it's like to put these lights in. Do you hear what I'm telling you? To clean those bathrooms. To take out that trash when they ain't picking it up. If you're going to be a leader and you're going to open a business, never lose your connection with the people on the front line.
That's right.
Never do it.
Right.
Understand what your kids are dealing with. Get on the front line. What is little Jimmy saying to you? How is little Jimmy talking to you? Is anybody pushing you? Is everybody being respectful to you? Huh? Because you know daddy will get them. Huh? 90% of the stuff go on in school, my kids tell their mother. Yeah, 'cause they don't want daddy showing up. I'll burn the whole. Huh? Understand what's going on the front line. See, part of the reason that religion is ineffective is because leaders want to sit in the office and not get on the front line. You understand?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you touch somebody in here, we coming on the front line. That's the way you got to be a God. That day said God comes through 42 generations, right? And Emmanuel, God with us. Gods must be on the front line and be with the people. You see this?
Yes.
Now, being a castle-time leader is dangerous. An authoritarian complex will leave you lonely. You got to be on the front line. You got to understand what your wife dealing with.
Yes.
Just because that's the how the house is arranged doesn't mean that you get to walk away and don't think about it. Oh, come on and talk to me now. The wife got to understand what the husband dealing with. The husband got to understand what the wife dealing with.
Yes.
Not that you quacking about your day and not listening to hers. Well, you don't understand the complexity of what I'm dealing with. That's complex to you. What she's dealing with is complex to her. You better listen. You'll be singing another lonely night. A leader, a scientist must accept that the ultimate outcome depends on the decision they make. So when you're a son, you got to understand every decision you make. She said it. Didn't the judge say it? Every decision that you make is helping to decide the outcome. And you got to accept that the decision you make is deciding the outcome. In other words, I take responsibility. You understand? If I go up there and quit tomorrow, Jordan, I got to take the responsibility for that. You see what I mean? If I don't take that overtime, I got to accept the responsibility for that. When the money a little short, that's on me. I can't stand somebody call themselves a leader, right? But don't know how to take the L when it's their fault. And when it's your fault. You go looking for somebody else to blame. Huh? Hell, the way that I came up, the honor system I came up is, if I'm sitting at the top, right? And somebody does something, even if I wasn't there, it's still on me. Because I am the one that sits at the top. And part of my responsibility is to watch what they do. So you can't be the principal of the school and say, I didn't know that the teacher was acting like that. No, your response is, I'm sorry this happened to you. I'm going to fix it, even if I got to teach the class myself. Are you seeing that? Leader has to accept the outcome and the decision that is on them from those with subordinate responsibilities. Now, the good part about this is that if I'm accepting the responsibility, I also get to accept the profit.
That's right.
Oh, y'all don't want to hear this part. See, if I'm responsible for the bills, then I'm responsible, right?
That's right.
For how the money go.
There you go.
So it's all right, right, for me to do something nice for myself, because I'm doing the responsibility. But where your resentment comes from, say where my resentment comes from. One of the many places. You say it, one of the many places. Now I'm going to tell you. It's because you accept responsibility for things, but don't get to enjoy the profit of what you've accepted responsibility for when it works. So you do everything for your kids. Everything everything for your spouses, but nothing for yourself to celebrate the work you put in. And then what happens is, when you see them, you know, and they just dancing, they're happy. Oh, y'all don't want to talk.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
They're having a wonderful time. And you over there looking like old dry rag. Yeah, I didn't even think to bring me a glass of water. Well, you ain't asked for no glass of water. Because you got a hero complex. You Jesus Christ without the crime. You got a permanent place on the cross.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
You ain't never resurrected.
Yeah.
Oh, y'all don't want to talk?
Nah, he talked.
You ain't never getting a third day, ain't got here yet.
Yeah.
That ain't the science, baby. You have to, if you're going to be a leader over something, that means you get the first spoils. Because when it's time to go back out to war again, it's you going out to the front line.
Yeah.
So they got to keep you straight.
Yeah.
And if they can't understand that, then that means you paying. I don't know. I'm going to say it again. I'm going to ask it again. You need to get the first spoils because you're the one going on the front line. Is that right?
Yeah.
And if people in your life can't understand that, although they're benefiting from you taking the responsibility, taking the heat, taking the L, doing the work, if they can't understand that, that means you're paying them
Attention.
There it is. You got to stop that.
That's right.
Because it's going to cause you to be an angry leader,
Right.
a resentful mama,
Right.
a mad daddy.
Yeah.
Oh, y'all didn't hear what I said. An angry as hell employee.
Yeah.
You showed the work ain't even started yet. You mad as hell.
Yeah.
I hope you say something to me. I want to say one thing to me. I had to catch myself one day. Boy, what up, y'all? Was already. I can't tell y'all what I'm telling you, man. You got to give to yourself. Leaders must be cause-oriented in order to have staying power.
Yeah.
And what I'm saying is that you can't always visualize just the results. You got to remember why you're doing it.
Yeah.
You're not doing it for your kids. You're not doing it for your wife. You're doing it because that's who you are. You're a certain kind of brother. You're a certain kind of sister. You got a certain kind of pedigree. And you are excellent. I mean, you're good at what you do, and everything you do it well.
Yeah.
That's why I take care of you, because of who I am.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, man. I ain't doing it because of who you are. I'm doing it because of who I am. I got your half fixed because of who I am. I get the gas. I pay the bills because of who I am. Don't get it twisted, because you might not be who you're supposed to be, but I'm going to be who I am. Oh, there it is. And see, when you operate like that, you're not constantly looking for reciprocation.
Right. That's
You can give to yourself because of who you are and what you deserve. But you're not looking for reciprocation because I did it for you. Are you seeing that?
Yeah.
Now, if you get the reciprocation, that's icing, but it's not the cake.
That's right.
Are you seeing it? Listen, if you're a leader, and you all are, people going to have a complaint. Y'all might not figure that out yet. It's just basic, fundamental wisdom. People going to have something to say. I don't care how good you are.
Don't matter.
I don't care what time you come home.
Exactly.
Right? I don't care what time you leave. Right? I don't care if you made the biscuits light or made them dark. Talk to me. Right? I don't care if you buy them these shoes, those particular shoes, or those particular shoes. Even if you buy them the ones they asked for.
They gonna have something to say.
Somebody gonna have a complaint. If they don't have it now, if they don't have it today, they'll have it later. So you got to do you.
Yeah.
Leaders can't go around, a real leader cannot go around trying to please everybody.
That's right.
So, you understand?
Right.
You give people too many choices
Yeah. That's right. Yeah.
for the stuff you're responsible for manifesting.
Right.
I'm going to let that sink in for a minute. You can't give people all these choices
Right.
and you're responsible for manifesting.
Yeah.
Would you like to leave on this flight, this flight, or that flight?
Yeah.
All right? And I'm paying for the flight.
Yeah.
Okay, I've booked your travel. I've booked your situation. This is when you get to leave.
Yes.
Well, I don't know. I booked your travel, and this is when you. Because if I don't, I'll begin allowing you to keep putting me in different spaces, which is going to keep me in the same places. Are you seeing that? Applying friendship principles in leadership situation is insanity.
That's right.
Right? Like if we're hanging out as friends, that's completely different than me running a business. That's why you have to be an extremely mature person to hire family or friends into your business. Oh, y'all got to listen now. Because there are times when you have to manage, when you have to lead. And if you're going to get your feelings hurt, or they're going to get their feelings hurt, then that ain't going to work. That's insanity. We're not watching the game right now. Which I'm boycotting the NFL, by the way. I'm supporting those pastors that are not watching the NFL. Do not watch the NFL till Kaepernick get a job. Hopefully in the BFL, the Black Football League.
Come on.
And all of my beloved brothers and sisters, millionaires and billionaires, they coming to see you. Let's get our own stadium. I got $1 on it. The hell with the owner. I couldn't do it, brother.
That's right.
I couldn't do it. I couldn't play for an owner. We had enough owners. I can't take the time to make them change it in the next CBA. Make them change their name for owner to something else if you're gonna keep playing for them.
Yeah.
But this year,
Partner to
I'm
partner.
burning the jersey. I'm burning it as soon as I get time. I'm gonna burn the jersey because I know. No, hell no. You're not gonna do our brother like that.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
You got all these sorry, pitiful, backwoods, wood chopping. Look, you know how it is when Malcolm show up. Malcolm and Elijah, they show up like that. Look, you got Hoyer playing and all of these other people, right? And you got a Super Bowl quarterback that can't get a job.
Right.
And I love Eric Reed. I'm going to get back to the China in a minute. Just be patient. Y'all had a week off. I love Eric Reed. Eric Reed said, I'm going to stand up too. Hell with your job. The hell with your money. We ain't paying attention.
That's good stuff.
Now let's get back to this truth. So look, if you have people in your life and you're going to bring them in, you can't apply friendship principles in corporate situations. See, if you're going to ride with me, you got to be a warrior. You got to be a soldier. I'm not male, female, whatever. Children, baby, right? I don't care. I like to deal with soldiers. Because when soldiers show up, soldiers are tough. What we going to do? Who we taking out today? Come back to me. I don't want to call somebody and I say, man, it's time to go. We got to make a trip. We got to make a run. I don't need somebody that says, well, where are we going? What did they do? Well, is it really as bad as you thought? No, hell no. I'm there, man. What are we hooking up? I don't want to ask you if you ready when you get there. Oh, man, come on and talk to me. Because if we're really brothers, you know I'm living under the principle of I am. I know you living under the principle of I am. You know I'm not going to ask you to pay attention to nothing. But my intention is good. So if we got it like that, then when we show up together as one. That right?
That's right.
That's how you got to run a business. I need people in my business that run it like I would. Did you hear what I said? Right? Serve the food like I serve. Right? Greet the customer like I greet. Talk to people like I want to, like I would want you to talk if I were there. Well, when you got people, man, that feel like they're getting a hookup and you are an excuse to lay down, and that's not good people. When they going around saying yes sir to no sir to everybody else, but just calling you by your first name. Don't give you no respect, even though you the one bringing them up and holding them up. Come on and talk to me. Now listen, you're going to run into some problems. You're a leader. You're a leader, right? You're all leaders. You're going to run into some situations. But you got to become larger than the problem. What that means is that you have to go internal. realize that no problem is solved at the terrestrial level. It's solved first in the mind. So you have to go through the necessary processes to clean out your mind and then build your mind up.
Yeah.
So you have to constantly feed yourself affirmations and powerful statements about yourself.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Every day you got to be saying to yourself, I am. Listen, you got to become larger than the problem. That physical body that you're in is going to be one of two things. It's either going to be a temple or it's going to be a grave. It's either going to be the grave where we give the last rites over your mind, or it's going to be a temple
Wow.
of your mind.
Wow.
Did you hear what I said to you? If it's a temple of your mind, it means that your mind comes into the Holy of Holies and dwells. Right? And the people in the outer court, the external environment, bring sacrifices in tribute to the mind that is in the Holy of Holies in the temple.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's beautiful. Right? But if it's a graveyard,
Yeah.
then it's just ashes to ashes, dust to dust. There he lies.
Realize.
So, your body is a temple, and it becomes a temple when the mind, the real mind, dwells in it. So you must become larger through your meditation. Your meditation starts first by you clearing your mind, and then your meditation begins to focus on a specific principle. And that specific principle is I am. Now, you start to think to yourself in your meditation, what does I am mean? I am means, first of all, I have access to all things. I am all things. So you start to think about everything that's beautiful, everything that is lovely, everything that is of good report. You think on these things. You think on love. You think on compassion. You literally feel the emotion of that as you are there in your meditation. Are you seeing this? You feel protected. You feel all of the things that go with a beautiful thought. All beautiful thoughts. And that begins to emanate into your mind and into your body, and it begins to create a force field around you. But don't stop there. Say, don't stop there.
Don't stop there.
Then you start to think about, I'm wealth.
Okay.
I'm rich.
Yeah.
I have money.
Yeah.
I have a successful business.
Yeah.
I have a successful career. And you see yourself.
Yeah.
Not at work.
Yeah.
You see yourself doing the thing that one would do that has the money that you have. So that when you go out the house, you start looking for the things that validate that principle. Are you seeing that?
Yes.
And as you start to do that, you magnetize yourself to start receiving those things for yourself. But not only does it work for you, it works for everybody around you, because if they are with you and connected to you, they have to be blessed too in order for you to enjoy the blessings you just saw in your meditation. You see yourself healthy.
Yeah. Oh.
You see yourself in the physical condition that you want to have. You see yourself optimal.
Yeah.
If you see yourself at the age and the health you want to see yourself,
Yeah.
you will see in a few days, you're going to go look in the mirror and you will not recognize yourself.
Yeah.
Oh, y'all don't hear what I'm saying. I got some people,
Yeah.
right, that don't even know, walk right by me, don't know who I am.
Yeah.
I'm kind of glad too.
Yeah.
Because they knew me when I was going through hell, you know what I'm saying? They just go walk on by. But this is how you stop the aging process and expedite the healing process by seeing yourself as you want to be. Don't pray that the sickness leave.
Yeah.
Pray that I am. That I am.
Yeah.
But I have to see I am in order to manifest I am.
Yeah.
Yes.
The job of the doctor, the job of this society is to show you who you're not.
Yeah.
The job of society is to get you not to say I am, but to get you to ask, am I?
Wow.
Am I?
Backwards.
Mental toughness. You cannot respond to meaningless emotional cries. You're going to have people as a leader that are going to come to you with problems. This is a major catastrophe. If you have to be intelligent enough to know, is this really something that matters? And if it's not, do I really need to respond to this?
Right.
Don't respond to your kids out of guilt.
That's right.
Oh, let me care about this because they care about it. If they shouldn't care about it, you should care about it.
That's right.
Because if you care about it and they shouldn't care about it, you are teaching them a bad trait that's keeping them further away from I am and their success.
That's right. Yep.
Are you hearing that?
Yep.
And you don't want to be waking up, right? Seeing them laying on the couch, talking about when breakfast is ready. So you can't respond to meaningless emotional cries. You crying for nothing. And my experience tells me that through life, you're going to have something to really cry about. I'm not going to join you in those tears.
That's right. That's right.
That's right.
That's
You
right.
understand?
Yeah.
That doesn't mean I don't give you emotion. That doesn't mean I don't give you love. But I give it to you at the right time, in the right space.
Yeah.
And that goes not only for children, but adults and elders.
Yes.
You might hurt your feelings. But you know I don't care. I'm not going to cry with you, Granny. If you eating a pork chop and you got diabetes and my sugar is this and my sugar is that, all these different cliches and no mantras, I'm not gonna cry with you in the hospital
That is their mom.
when you are not doing what I am would do. I'm gonna tell you the truth. You shouldn't eat that,
Yep.
right?
That's right.
And you're going to have some people, maybe even your siblings, say, don't talk to mama like that. Don't say that to Granny. Don't do this, that, and the other. But if you love Granny,
Yeah.
like you said you did,
Yeah.
then you would tell Granny the truth.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's right.
Is that right?
Yeah.
If I love you, I'll tell you the truth.
Yes.
Yeah.
If I lie, if I love you, I'll die for the truth before I lie to you.
Right.
You understand? But if I lie to you, that's not love.
Yeah.
You see this?
Yep.
Yeah.
Leaders bring others into their space. Don't simply live in the space of others. Lastly, I want you to stand up for a second. Take a deep breath in. Gonna be our last slide for today. Gonna go through this, get this divine teaching. Just breathe in. Exhale. Breathe in. Exhale. Breathe in. And exhale. Stay there in the silence for just a moment. Okay, let's be seated. If you're visiting with us today, you're not a scientist, you're not a student here in the Self-Empowerment Center, we want to invite you at the end of this service to complete the student application and place it in the basket. What are you signing on for? You're signing to study with us. You're signing to study the science with us in a more detailed and in-depth way.
Yeah.
But more than that, you are committing your life not to just the Saint House or the community, but you're saying all of these ascended masters that are teaching us this, I want them in my life. I want not Acharya's ascended masters, but my own personal ascended masters that are guides just for me. I want to invite them in my life. I believe that there are gods and goddesses and energy beings that are supposed to be telling me what to do, pointing me in the direction of my purpose. I want those in my life, whoever and whatever they are. We don't tell you who they are and what they are. You discover that for yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what makes this the most beautiful group of people
Yes.
that you could ever be a part of. Because when I show up, and my God show up, and your God show up, man, that's a powerful group.
Yeah.
That's a powerful group. So we invite you to become one with us at the end of these services today. Most people think that the most difficult thing is to get started. A little excitement can get you started on something. If you're talking about opening a business, when you first get that idea, now that you have that ideal crystallized in your head that I am, you're going to have the idea to do a lot of things, and you're going to get excited.
Yeah.
And when you first get excited, oh boy, you do a lot of stuff. Same way with dating,
Yeah.
right?
There you go.
Oh man, you start fixing up stuff you ain't fixed up, cleaning up stuff you ain't cleaned up. I was talking to somebody this week that my wife know, me and my wife both know, that did some cleaning that we ain't never get the privilege of seeing. Because somebody's special. Or you get to do a lot of stuff when it first started.
Right.
So getting started started. People say getting started is hard. No, getting started is easy
Yeah. Excitement.
because you're excited.
Right.
And then some people think it's finishing.
Yeah.
Well, if I could just finish. But see, if you could see the finish line, you'd be a fool to quit. If I could see the end, I ain't gonna quit, right? But it's that middle part. It's when you can't see the finish line, when you don't even know if there's a finish line. You hear what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You open a business and you don't even know if you're gonna have the finances to keep it going long enough for somebody to walk in the door and buy one thing. Are you understanding that?
Yes.
Oh, I've been through it right here, live and in person, right? I can remember being in a daycare. Some of you were there. I'll be in a daycare. See, you think we still need to grow here. You have no idea where we've come from.
Yeah.
Huh? I couldn't even breach the mind. I've been waiting on some of y'all for a long time.
Wow.
I've been waiting on you for a long time. A group of people that could hear what I had to say, that had the intelligence and not have fear of us challenging scripture, not have fear of us challenging religion, not have fear of us challenging history, but be able to stand up and say, hell, if it ain't working, we need to scrap it. And let's come on into a new science. Right? But I had to hold on. I had to be willing to pay the bills. Right? I had to be willing to be disrespected. I had to be willing to be lied on. And I want you to understand, though, if you will not quit, it will happen if it's in your mind to happen. But it has to be in your mind to happen. And you can never lose it out of your mind. That's why every day you got to live in the end in your mind. You got to live in the result of your vision in your mind, because where there is no vision, the people perish.
Yes.
You have to live in your vision. You have to live in the space, right, of the place that you're trying to get to. So the hardest thing is to keep going when everyone and everything says you can't do it. It's when there's no end in sight. To keep going then means you have elevated beyond results. You're doing it because it's who you are. You have to live in the results, but not be so attached to the results that if you don't see it immediately, you get discouraged. You have to put it out there and literally forget it. Are you seeing that?
Yes.
You have to become impregnated with a cause.
That's right.
Exactly.
That you know at some point it's coming to turn. Well, how do you know it's coming? Because it's inside of you and you can feel it growing in you, even though it has not manifested itself into the world. Are you seeing that? Now you're leadership material when you do this. Lastly, a leader seeks to understand, support, and empower. A leader does not allow one to pity themselves, excuse themselves, or avoid conflict or cower. First of all, you can't do that. You can't ever pity yourself. Ever again. Woe is me. I'm bad off. The worst is yet to come. No.
Right.
Excuse this must be gone. If it ain't happened, it's on me.
Right.
Right?
Right.
And then you don't be a person that avoids conflict. And lastly, don't let other people come in to your life bringing that to you. Because if you do, it means you're paying them.
Attention.
Thank you for listening. May conscience bless you.